Yeah, reach out to them. I mean, like we all use Slack for the most part, or something that, is a tool for, you're in a remote world. If you work in an office, it's a lot easier, but there's tools that, you can get their cell phone number, call them. There's tools that you can use to be able to talk to them. And, I think for an SDR, it's really about just reaching out to them and taking genuine interest in the accounts that you have and finding your niche and bringing that to the AE to get their buy-in, because you're not always going to automatically have their buy-in for that collaboration. But if you kind of show them that you're interested, these are the people that you're interested in reaching out to, why you're interested, type up personalization and outreach, send it to them for them to check it. And just keep reaching out to them and breaking their door down. In some cases, they're super busy, but it's also their accounts and they share it with you. So like your success is their success. So you really have to like always be reaching out to them and always ask for that collaboration. If it doesn't happen over time and time, that's unfortunate. That's something that, you should probably bring to your manager. But in most cases, like these AEs want the meetings just as bad as you want the meeting credit, because they need to sell and they have a number. So as SDRs have numbers. So I think for SDRs that, might not have AEs that reciprocate that knowledge of why that team might be beneficial or anything in general. I really think it's about just making your presence known and letting them know that you know what you're talking about. You know the product, the personas. Even if it's not the best messaging, still type it up and send it to them. Can you edit this for me? I'm thinking about sending this email. Guarantee you they're going to get back to you with, some edits, baby, or just say, great job, send this out. So I think from that perspective, it's really about meeting with them regularly, having one-on-ones, collaborating, bringing them useful information and making their life easier, and then having them give you the feedback on how you can do the role better and how you can like grow your career and how you can do outreach and what type of prospecting you should be doing for sure.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And then let's talk about it from the other perspective, from the AE perspective. What's their job, their responsibility in this relationship?
Yeah, I think and there's a lot, but I think the number one thing is they need to know that this is a person on the front line booking you meetings for you to close deals, and don't be just because they're SDRs and, I hate to say this, but entry level per se, I'm throwing my fingers up quoting it, but and because they're very smart. Anybody who can come into a SaaS environment for the most part and be SDRs, they have to be smart. Like, so, you know, they need to coach them on why this is the right account and why this is the right persona. And they need to coach them on messaging and ways to do outreach and what gets people's attention. Because at the end of the day, AEs are even though SDRs have managers and then directors and whatever it might be, that's your teammate. That's your mini teammate on a company-wide team, right? Like you need to collaborate with them, but you need to have an open mind to it too and understand and don't get frustrated and help them with messaging and give suggestions and don't act like their boss and act like, you really know the best thing, because there's so much room for collaboration there, which oftentimes gets missed. And career pathing, especially like most SDRs that I've had some move into team lead roles. I've had some move into CSM roles, but I would say for the most part, a lot of the SDRs or BDRs that I've managed, they want to be AEs. So look at them as, you're just mentoring them and helping them out with their career. And, at the end of the day, if they're successful, then you're successful and this person will grow into the next role and everybody wins. But the buy-in from both sides is important. But for an AE, like you need to look at it as, in my opinion, as their coach and somebody who can help them with all this. And when the results come in, it's only going to be beneficial for both.
Mm-hmm. Makes sense. And then from a management perspective, so obviously, so in some cases, there's not the same manager for each of these functions. Sometimes, as you mentioned, you've got your SDR manager, it might be someone else that the AE rolls
Absolutely.
up to, but
Yeah.
anybody kind of, whether you're the same manager or you're one of those two managers, how do you think a manager can help facilitate this type of relationship?
I would say the best thing to do is make it, like you said, like have it be on paper, right? So what I do is everybody has a target account list. I create a sheet that they can bring to their AE, right? And that goes back to the SDR going to their AE, bring a sheet, that makes you look super prepared, has 10 accounts, right personas, what makes you interested in this account, why are these the right personas, LinkedIn URL, whatever you might want to put in there, some messaging you might have typed already to reach out to these people, and set an hour-long meeting with your AE each week where you go over this sheet and you both collaborate on these emails, and then right afterwards you send them. And that's something that's tangible, right? Like, because a lot of this is like, oh, you didn't see this person post this about something that's in our space, why didn't you reach out to them about it? It's like, bring that to your one-on-one, force something that they can bring to their one-on-ones with their AE that they have to look at, that their AE then has to collaborate with them on. Because if you don't do that, a lot of it's just word of mouth. And unless they're taking extensive notes and they're just kind of having a one-on-one, like there needs to be a end goal for all of that. Like there has to be results on both ends for both of it. So it's more about bringing that sheet and having these one-on-ones and facilitating it, and then having the collaboration. And then, you know, I used to do that as an SDR. Me and my AE would sit down each week with a target account list of however accounts we're on and be like, okay, this week, these 10 accounts are hot for this reason. And this is why I'm interested. These are the right people. This is their LinkedIn URL. This is what I saw them post on their LinkedIn, or what they have in their LinkedIn bio, or under their job descriptions, or anything, what they might be interested in, what they're looking for. And then, you know, that's all trigger events for you to reach out and then collaborate with your AE to do so.